Assalamu alaikum. We're gonna do some algebra final exam review. I will try to go over every question in detail if it's possible. Let's start. Here just we simplify this expression. So here what I need to do first, when you have this type of question, especially with the fraction and you have exponent, always don't distribute first. Make sure that you simplify the inside first. Make sure that you have only one base for each variable. So I simplify those first, then I distribute. So that's the safe way and the best way. So here's gonna be minus 3 x squared y over 2x y. So we have minus 2 times, and we have 9x squared 4. Now, so here I simplified. Same base, I subtract the exponents. So here it's going to be minus 3, x 2 minus 1, and the y will cancel out. So here over 2, and it is minus 2 times 9x squared 4y 4, x squared 4y 4. So here is going to be minus 3 over 2. This is x minus 2, 9x squared, and this is going to be 4y to the 4, not square. Alright, so second thing, so I don't distribute with the minus. What I do, I flip y, because if I have minus I flip. If I have n over m and we have minus 1, it's the same thing as m over n. So what you do, we flip the fraction. Then after I distribute the positive exponent. So it's going to be minus 2 over 3x square. The minus, if you put it down or here, is the same thing, times 9x squared over 4y 4. Now what I do, I distribute the exponent. So here's going to be, so again for this one too, because it's going to be minus square is going to be 1. So it's going to be 4 over 9x squared times 9x squared over 4y 4. So now I simplify the 4. So what's left is 1 over y over 4, and this will be your final answer. Alright, next one. So here what I do, I split the square root. So it's going to be square root of 32, square root of a squared, square root of b. Now what is the maximum perfect square I can pull out from 32? 16. So it's going to be 16 times 2 square root of a square, square root of b. Keep in mind, if I have square root of something square, is always absolute value of that thing, either expression or variable or anything else. If that thing is positive, then you don't need absolute value. But if they don't define if it's positive or negative, then you have to always give the absolute value, which is the case here. So here is going to be square root of 16, square root of 2. Here will be absolute value of a. There's nothing I can do here, so it's going to stay the same. So square root of 16 is 4, square root of 2, absolute value of a, square root of b. Now I combine the square roots, because they are the same exponents. I can combine them. If I have a and b and I can put them under the same exponent. So it's going to be 4 absolute value of a, square root of 2b, and this will be my final answer. So here they ask me to simplify here. So those questions that we just did, just simplification. So we're going to simplify this too. So here I need to make sure that I factor the denominator and make a common denominator. So it's going to be a over a square minus 9. So let me factor it right away, so I don't need to write it down again. Alright, so here is a plus 3 times a minus 3 minus 1 over a plus 3. So whatever is missing here, I put it out from here. So it's going to be a minus 3 a minus 3. So I'm multiply both sides by a minus 3. So at least I have a common denominator. So here's going to be a over a plus 3 times a minus 3. And I extend to make common denominator, so it's going to be minus a minus 3. Now I distribute the minus, so it's going to be a minus a plus 3 over a plus 3 times a minus 3. So the a will cancel out. What's left is 3 over a plus 3 a minus 3. So if you want to write down this one as this format, it's still okay. So either this or this is the same thing. So here I'm going to use conjugate. So I multiply both sides by the conjugate. So plus of the denominator, not numerator. So 3 square root of 2 minus 2. So I multiply both sides by 3 square root of 2 plus 2. 3 square root of 2 plus 2. So if I have a plus b times a minus b, will give me a square plus minus b square. So this is your a minus b, a plus b. So the denominator will be what? Will be 3 square root of 2 square, which is my a, minus b square, which is my b. And here at the top, what I do, I FOIL. This time this time this. So it's going to be 6 square root of 2 plus 4 plus 3 square root of 2 square, which is 2, and we have plus 2 square root of 2. Now I simplify, so I get 6 square root of 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 2 square root of 2, and here I will have 9 times 2, 18 minus 4. So here combine like terms, so 8 square root of 2 plus 10, and here is going to be just 14. So can I simplify? Yes, because there's a common factor here. This is 2 times 4, this is 2 times 5, this is 2 times 7. So it's going to be 2 times 4 square root of 2 plus 2 times 5. This is 2 times 7. So I can take 2 as common factor here. So it's going to be 2 4 square root of 2 plus 5 over 2 times 7. So now I can cancel the 2. Take it as common factor, then cancel. Don't cancel it and still on the addition. Take it as common factor first. Make sure that is the common factor, because sometimes you may see that people simplify this. For example, they do 5 square root of 2 plus 10 over 4, and they simplify. They put 2 here and they put 2 here, and they think like they are. It's right. No, it's not. So make sure that first thing, before you simplify, that you have a common factor on the numerator and you have a common factor on the denominator. Then you simplify. So that my fair answer will be what? 4 square root of 2 plus 5 over 7. So this is common. So be careful, guys. This is not right. Make sure that you have a common factor. So I can cancel here, cancel here, cancel here. But I'm afraid that some student will think, okay, even if I have additional cancel, if I don't have something like a common factor. No. This is why I put it as common factor, to make sure that I emphasize the common factor. So it must be common factor. Factor it, then simplify it. So here, what I do, I distribute. So 3 minus 2i times 4 plus I. So you distribute and you simplify. So it's going to be 12 plus 3i minus 8i minus 2i squared. So it's going to be 12 minus 5i plus 2. So it's going to be 14 minus 5i, and this will be your answer. So here I need to pull out, simplify my square root first, then combine like terms if there is something I combine. So there's nothing I can do here, so it's going to stay. So here is 9 times 3, so this is the maximum perfect square I can pull out, plus 4 here is 4 times 3, so this is the maximum perfect square I can pull out. Now I split the square root, so it's going to be square root of 3 minus square root of 9 square root of 3, and 4 square root of 4, square root of 3. So it's going to be 2 square root of 3. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 3. It's 2 times 4, so it's going to be 8 square root of 3. Now, all like terms, I combine the coefficient. So it's going to be 2 minus 3 plus 8, and the whole thing square root of 3. So, as you see here, it's going to be 5. Oh, it's not 5, 7. So 10 minus 3 is 7. So this will be your answer. For here, I need to factor each terms and see if I can cancel the common terms. So, or common expression. So I have x squared plus 4x plus 3 over 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 times x squared minus x minus 6 over x squared minus 9. So to factor the top one, I will have x plus 3 times x plus 1 over here is going to be 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 1. Sorry, let me make sure it's clear. I need to have 2x minus 5, and here's going to be x plus 1. So in that case, if I FOIL, I will get this expression. So it's going to be 2x squared plus 2x minus 5x is minus 3x and minus 5. There we go. So here's going to be x minus 3 times x plus 2, and here's going to be x minus 3 times x plus 3. Now I factor everything, so what I do, I cancel the common. So those are common, this and this are common, this and this, so what's left is x plus 2 on the top and 2x minus 5 on the denominator, and this will be my answer. Alright, so here I need to solve for x. So I have z equal y over 3x minus 1. So let me do it in a different way. So in that case, you can see the relationship between those two and you understand the idea. So suppose I have 7 equal 8 over 3x minus 1. So the same idea, how you deal with this, you deal with this way. The difference is here the 7 maybe will be distributed and so on. So let's do it in the same way, and I'll show you. So here what you do to find out x. So what you do, the first thing come to the mind is cross multiply. So you do 7 times 3x minus 1 equal 8. The same thing you do here. So it's going to be z times 3x minus 1 equal y. Now what you do here to find out x, you distribute the 7. So I distribute the 7. The same thing here, I distribute the z. So it's going to be what? 3x z minus z equal y. The difference here, if I distribute, I got 21. So but here I will keep it as 7. So 7 times 3 times x minus, and you have 7 equal 8. Then what you do, because I'm looking for x, so I add z both sides. The same thing here, what you do, I add 7 both sides. So it's going to be 7 times 3 times x equal 8 plus 7. I will keep this one as the same thing. I know you're going to get 15, yes, but you see my point, it's not that. Let me erase this. So now what you got 3xz equal y plus z. Then I'm looking for x. That means this is the value that which is 21, which is time x. So what you do, you divide by 21. So I do the same thing. I divide here by 21. So this will cancel out. So I get my x. Here I'm looking for x. So what I have here, I have 3z. So I divide both sides by 3z. So my x will be what? Y plus z over 3z, and you will be done. So the same thing you deal with the linear equation, you can deal with that type of equation, with the formula equation. The same idea. keep in mind that when we solve for x, that means those I'll have to assume them as constant or number. As you see, I give you an example, and it's the same process we do for simple equation, we do for this. There's no difference between them. Because some people get confused because they want to see number and they want to deal with the number. The difference here, you cannot multiply 3 with z, and you cannot subtract y from z, but you have to keep the what? You keep the sum as it is. Here I keep the sum as it is. In fact, I should have 15 over 21, so this is what I would get. But I just want to keep it in this format to show you that is the same thing. So I hope this is clear, because some students get confused on this. Alright, so here they asked me to solve for here. They didn't say anything, either quadratic or perfect square or anything here. So when they ask me to solve this, so the first thing I do is quadratic. That's it. It's simple. So what is my discriminant? Is b squared minus 4ac. So I found my discriminant, so it's going to be minus 7 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 30. So it's going to be 49. So it's going to be 8. So it's going to be plus 240. So it's going to be 289. Because minus must become positive. So 8, 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 times 30, which is 8 times 2 is 24, and we have the 0. So it's going to be 240 plus 49 is going to be 289. So it's positive. That's it. So I will have x is going to be what? Minus 7. So it's going to be 7. So let me write down the formula of the quadratic. So it's going to be minus b plus or minus square root of the discriminant over 2a. So which means that x will be minus 7 plus or minus square root of 289 over 2a, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. Alright, so this will be answer. So this, I don't know if it's 17 or no, it's not 17. So alright, so anyway, so if you have calculator or use calculator, you can take the square root of this one, see if it's a perfect square or not, but I don't think so. Anyway, so let's move on. So this will be your answer. If they ask you to split it out, so what you do, if they want different answers, so it's going to be you write it down this format. So it's the same thing, but I don't know, it depends what's the question, how they want it. So you can do it in this format or in this format, so it depends how they want it. So but if you write it down into answers, so always don't forget to put the or. Alright, so here they ask me to solve for this. So first thing I have to find out what is when you have a when you have rational equation, always first thing find the absolute value of the equation. So I make x squared minus x equals 0. So it's going to be x minus 2 x plus 2 times x minus 3 equals 0, which is the same here. So that's mean if I find out the absolute value here, it's going to be the same thing for those. So I will have x equal minus 2 x equal 3. So those are my exclude. That means they are not going to be part of my solution. If I got a solution which is involved 2 or 3, so I have to cancel it out. So that's the idea. So the excluded value are minus 2 and 3. So now I don't need this anymore. So what I do, I solve for my equation. So what I do here, I make common denominator. So it's going to be 7 over x squared minus x equal 2 times x plus 2 minus 3 times x minus 3 over x minus 3 times x plus 2. And we already know that this and this are the same, so cancel them out. So it's going to be 7 equal 2x plus 4 minus 3x plus 9. So we'll have 7 equal 5x plus 13. So minus 13 both sides. So it's going to be minus x equal 5x divided by 5. So x is minus x over 5. It's not minus 2, it's not 3, so that means this is a valid answer. I can keep it. Is that clear? So if you are not sure, you can factor this. So this is the same thing as x minus 3 times x minus 2 then plus 2, then you can cancel out with it. So it's up to you. So because we already factored this to find out the actual value, and we solve for it, and we find out that this and this are the same, so we cancel the same denominator, so that means the numerator must be equal, and you solve as regular equation. There we go. You see I'm making a mistake here, guys. Here 2x minus 3x is minus x, not 5x. You see I add, you see. There we go. There we go, you see. If I went back, I will. There we go. So here is minus x. So that are minus 13. Minus 13. So it's going to be minus x equal minus x. Then divide by minus 1. So the answer is 6, not 6. No, minus 6 over 5. So this would be cancelled. There we go. You see? Even me, I make a mistake. So sometimes you can make a mistake like that, and it's really very simple, because this is just minus 2x. So when you read, I read only this, and you read this. I forgot the minus here, so it's happened. But alhamdulillah, I catch up. All right. so this is how to deal with this type of question. Again, be careful. You see, sometimes you think like you're doing fine, but you can miss little things like just we did now. Alright, now here I just need to use quadratic formula. Okay, first thing what I need to do, find what is my A, B, and C. So I got my those, so write my quadratic formula, and my discriminant. So I got my discriminant and substitute. So it's going to be minus 7 4 4 1. So it's going to be 49 minus 16, which is 33. So this is my discriminant. It's positive, so x equal minus b plus or minus square root of the discriminant over twice a. So I just need to substitute. So it's going to be minus 7. It's going to be 7 plus or minus square root of 33 over 2 times 4, which is 8. So this is straightforward. So, and be careful again. Ask if they want real or complex solution, because sometimes you may have discriminant negative. So it's possible. So if I have, for example, 4x squared minus 7x plus, for example, plus 4 equals 0. So my discriminant will be what? Minus 7 squared minus 4 times 4 times 4. So it's going to be 49 minus 64, which is minus 15. And this, if they want real solution, you have to say no solution. But if they want complex solution, then you can use the I. So ask what they want, because you may have a negative discriminant. Who knows? This is the finals. Alright, so here I just need to use substitution or elimination. Alright, so here I have 3x plus 4y equal 6, and we have x minus 3y equal minus 11. And I think I use substitution here. Why? Because I have x, so x equal minus 11 plus 3y. Then substitute my x into here. So it's going to be 3 times minus 11 plus 3y plus 4y equals 6. So I distribute, so I get minus 33 plus 9y plus 4y equals 6. So minus 33 plus 13y equals x plus 33 both sides. So 13y equal 39 divided by 13 both sides. So 13y equal 39 divided by 13. So my y is 3. Then what I do, I take this 3 and I plug in back here. So x will be minus 11 plus 3 times 3, which is going to be minus 11 plus 9, which is minus 2, and I'm done. So my solution, x equal minus 2 and y equal 3. As you see here, I can use elimination if I want, but you see, because this is x, just move this and substitute back and you're done. So this is very simple, and it's like they give you half of the answer. So you just need to solve for x, plug in back here, get your y, plug in the y back here, and you got your answer. You can use elimination, it's going to give you the same thing, but I think this is, I don't know, it's simple. Alright, so here just need to complete the square to solve this equation. So I have x squared minus 4x plus 5 equals 0. So I minus 5 both sides. So I got x squared minus 4x, and I keep this spot empty here, and I put minus 5 here. Then what I do, I add half of this one square, half of 4 square on both sides. So this will give me my perfect square. So I put my perfect square. Let's see this sign here. I put my x, and I put this one here, which is 4 over 2. And here is going to be minus 5 plus 2 square, which is 4. So now I simplify here, so it's going to be x minus 2 square equal minus 1. So now you have to ask what they want, real solution or complex solution. Okay, for real solution, I have a contradiction. Why? Because this is square, this is negative. Square can never be negative, so that means there's no solution. So if they want complex solution, so what I do, a square root, so it's going to be x minus 2 square equal minus 1. I do the square root, and I put plus or minus. So this will cancel out, so it's going to be x minus 2 equal plus or minus I, because square root of minus 1 is I. Then I add 2 both sides. So x equal 2 plus or minus I. So this is your complex solution. So it depends what they want. This is why in that type of question always ask what they want. Any solution, or you need only real solution. For real solution, so this means you stop here because you got a contradiction. There is no solution for real number. But for complex, so you can go further and use the I. Okay, find the equation of the line that join the 2 points. Okay, so here the best way to write down a linear equation is to use point slope form. So y minus y1 equal the slope times x minus x1 is the best way, and is the bridge for standard or slope intercept. It's very simple. Now I have y1 x1. You can pick any point you want. You can pick the first one, second one. It's up to you. Whatever you like, you pick. First or second is the same thing. You're gonna get the same answer anyway. So I pick the first one, so it's going to be y minus 1 equal the slope times x minus 2. Then it's going to be y plus 1 equal the slope times x minus 2. Now I need to slope, so I use the 2 point for the slope. So the slope formula is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. The same thing, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The same thing is going to give you the same number. The only thing you have to make sure that the y and the x from the same point are above each other. As you see, y1 x1, y2 x, y2 x2, y1 x1. As you see, they are the same. So I can pick any number to be x1, y1, y2. So it doesn't matter. So it's going to be minus 3 minus 1 over minus 3 minus 2. So it's going to be minus 3 plus 1 over minus 5. So it's going to be minus 2 over minus 5, which is 2 over 5. So it's going to be y plus 1 equal 2 over 5 x minus 2. Now what I do, I distribute and I move the 1. So it's going to be y plus 1 equal 2 over 5x minus 4 over 5. Then I minus 1 both sides. So I got y equal 2 over 5x, and here common denominator is going to be 5, so it's going to be minus 9 over 5. Because minus 4 over 5 minus 1 is minus 4 over 5 minus 5 over 5. So it's going to be minus 4 minus 5 over 5, which is minus 9 over 5. So this is how to add fraction or subtract fraction. So this will be your final answer. As you see here, this is, it's really simple. I use all the time this. Personally, I use all the time this. I start with this. Whatever question is, I always put point slope form first. And when they want slope intercept, I just need to move the number here and simplify. If they want standard form, I multiply both sides by the denominator, and I move the x and the number on the other side. That's it, and I'm done. So so this is how to deal with this type of question. Now here they ask me to find out the domain. So this is rational function, so which means that I don't need to have the denominator equal 0. So I have x minus 2. It's not 0, which means if I add 2 both sides, I cannot have x equal 2. So I can pick any x except 2. So my domain is include everything except that one. So everything include except that one. So either I put it in interval notation, so it's going to be minus infinity to union to infinite, or I put it in this format. It's set of all x such that x is not 2. So you can pick an x but not 2. Here this is a polynomial, so polynomial there's nothing I can do, so is minus infinity infinite right away. Either degree 3, degree 2, degree 1, any polynomial, even a constant. When they give you a function, like for example f of x equals 7, find me the domain. The domain is always minus infinity to infinity, even if there is no x here, but this is a constant function, which is in fact is horizontal line, which is keep going for all the input. So that's the idea. So be careful if they give you f of x equals 7. Don't steer right and say, okay, what's the domain? For the range, it's 7 itself. There's nothing I can do. So for the range, it's only 7, but for the domain, is all real number. So be careful here, because sometimes people start having doubt when they give them this type of question. Alright, so polynomial is always, you don't have to think about it, it's always minus infinity to infinity, always the domain. The ranges depend what type of polynomial I have. Alright, so here they ask me to find out g of f of x. So I have g of f of x. So what is g function? Is x squared minus 1. What is my x? Is here. So whatever I substitute here, I substitute here. So I change it here, but x is changed by f. So it's going to be f of x square minus 1. Then what is my f? Is square root. So it's going to be square root x minus 4 square minus 1. So this cancels out. X minus 4 minus 1. So it's going to be x minus 5. Now they want g of f of 5. I already have g of f of x. G of f of x. So they want g of f of 5 and g of f of 5. I change x by 5. So it's going to be 5 minus 5, which is 0. And I'm done. So don't plug the 5 here, solve it, then plug it back here. So you already find out g of f of x. Whatever value you put here, you put it here, and you get the answer. As you see here, it doesn't even take a second to be done. Alright, so here they want you to graph this. This is a linear function, so I'm going to use the intercept to graph. I'll find out the x and the y-intercept. It's more faster and most easiest. So So here I'm going to look for Y-intercept, which means I will make x equal 0. So I will substitute 0 here, is going to be 0, so it's going to be minus 3y equal 15. So divide by minus 3. So this means y will be minus 5. So I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my y-intercept, 0, minus 5. Now I'm going to look for x-intercept. I make y equal 0, so I got 5x equal 15 divided by 5, x equal 3. So 1, 2, 3. So this is my x-intercept, 3, 0. So I got my 2 points because this is a line. What I do, I just need to graph my line. That's it. And sometimes try to name it. So 5x minus 6y equal 15. So don't forget to put there. Could just keep going. And that's it. So this is how to deal with this type of question. Don't make it hard for yourself. Don't try to find out the slope and look for a point and find out look for the point and do the slope for rise run. You don't need to do that. Just use the intercept and move on. Alright, so here they ask me to compute a times b. So they give me a, they give me b. So what is, I need to make sure I have to make sure that I can multiply. So this is 2 by 2, this is 2 by 2. Those two are equal, so then I can go further. If they're not equal, that means there's nothing to multiply. They must, the inter or the inside number must be the same. We don't care about the top, the outside. The outside has other form. Now those are equal, so I'm good. Now what is my output? My output, this will determine my output. The outside determines my output. That means I will end up having what? 2 by 2. Now keep in mind those are locations. So this is 1 1. Yes, this is 1 2. This is 2 1. This is 2 2. Now I need to multiply. So I need to start with the first point. What should I do? You see, the location tell me what to do. Take the first row, because always the first number is the first row, column. This is row, column, row, column, row, column, row, column. So what's this 1 1 mean in terms of multiplication? Take the first row and time it with the first column. Take the first row, time it with the first column. It will give you this location. So it's going to be 2 times 4 plus or minus 1 times 1. If I want to do 2 here, I don't want to do in order. I want to do in my order. This is 2, 2. So I'm going to go to the second row, time it with the second column. So it's going to be 0 times 1 plus 3 times 2. So here is 1 2. What does this mean? This means first row, second column. So I'm going to go to the first row and time it with the second column. So it's going to be 2 times 1 minus 2 times 1. And here is second first. So second first. So it's going to be 0 times 4 plus 3 times 1. As you see here, the location of your result matrix will tell you what to do. So here is going to be 8 minus 1. This is going to be 2 minus 2. This is going to be 0 plus 3. And this is going to be 0 plus 6. So which means that I will have 7, 0, 3, 6, and this will be my product. So first thing, check if the two number, the inside number, are the same. They are the same. Then what you do, you take your outer number as your dimension of your product matrix. The outer number always give you the dimension. and from you write down the dimension in this format. So then the location will tell you what to do. The location, this is row, this is column. Take the first row, time it with the first column. Take the second row, time it with the first column. Take the first row, time it with the second column. Take the second row, time it with the second column. So as you see, it's very simple. So here that's me to find out the equation that is parallel to that one. Alright, so here again I'm going to use y minus y1 equal to slope times x minus x1. I know it is my y1, what is my x1, so it's going to be y minus 1 equal to slope times x minus 5, so it's going to be plus 5. Now what's missing is the slope. The line are parallel, that means the slope are same. If the line are parallel, the slope are the same. So I need to find what is the slope on my first line. So to do so, I solve for y. So minus 2x minus 2x. So minus 5y equal minus 2x plus 3 divided by minus 5 divided by minus 5 each term. So y will be 2 over 5x plus minus 2 over 5 minus 3 over 5. So this is my slope, which is the slope of this one again. So minus 1 equal 2 over 5x plus 5. Now what I do, I distribute, so that's y minus 1 equal 2 over 5x plus 2 plus 1 both sides, and I'm done. Y equal 2 over 5x plus 3, and you finish. See, this is the key for any equation you want. You don't have to keep it in this form. If they want point slope, then you stop here. But if they didn't specify anything, that means they want slope intercept. That means just need to go further, just move the number on the other side, distribute, and so on. Alright, so here they ask me to solve the system, and they want me to indicate x and y. So at the end I will tell you what does mean indicate x and y, and they want to use the row echelon form. Alright, so here I need to write down this one in matrix notation, so it's going to be 3, 4, 2, minus 1, and I will have x, y equal 13 minus 1. Then I need to do a augmented matrix, so it's going to be 3, 4, 2, minus 1, dotted line, 13 minus 1. So this one is the augmented matrix. Now what I do here, I will name the row. So this is my row 1, this is row 2. Keep in mind, if I want to use row echelon form, I need to make sure that this column has 1 and the rest is 0. So to do so, I need to play with the row. Alright, so here I need to make this one equal 1. I can divide by 3 and make it 1, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to deal with fractions. So what I'm gonna do here, I will subtract. I will do R1 is gonna be R2 minus R1. So this is gonna be my new R1. So this minus this is going to be 1, this minus this is going to be minus 3, this minus is going to be minus 14, and the second one is unchanged, so it's going to be minus 1 and minus 1. Now I have 1 here, so what I need to do here, I need to make sure that I have 0 here. So what I do, my R2, the new R2 will be what? R2 minus 4 R1. So if I multiply this by 4 and subtract, you give me 0. So this is what I'm going to do here. So I have 1 minus 3 minus 14, and I multiply this by 4, it's going to be 0. Multiply this by 4 is going to be minus 12, and I subtract, so it's going to be minus 11. So this, this minus this is 0, so minus, so it's going to be 12, so it's going to be 11 here. So here 4 times is going to be what, 56, minus 56, okay, plus 55. So I have minus 1 minus 4 times minus 14. So this is what I did. Minus 1 plus 56 is 55. So this I let you know. You can do this to make sure that it's clear and you know what to do. Alright, so here after that what I do, I need to make sure that this location is 1. So what I do, I divide by 11. So R2 is R2 over 11. So I will have 3, I will have 1, sorry. 1 minus 3, 0, 1, and it's going to be 5, this is going to be minus 14. Now I need to make sure that this is 0, so what I do R1 is going to be R1 plus 3 R2. So 3 R2. Now I have R1, this minus 3 times 0 is 1, so it's going to be minus 3 times is going to be 0. So the second row is unchanged, so this is 5, and I will have minus 14 plus 3 times, so it's going to be 15, so it's going to be 1. So this will tell me that x, y will be equal to 1, 5. But this is not the answer they want. They want indicate the value of x and y, which means they want to know if you can read this equality of two matrices. So it's going to be x equal 1 and y equal 5. So they want this answer. So two matrices are equal. Two matrices are equal if the corresponding entry are equal. So the corresponding entry of x is 1. The corresponding entry of y is 5. So this is the idea behind. Alright, so here they ask me to graph this, and they want to see the intercepts. So let me find out Y-intercept. So I make x equals 0, so I got y will be 2 over minus 1, which is minus 2. X-intercept, so I make y equals 0, so I got 2 over x minus 1 equals 0, multiply both sides by x minus 1, so I got 2 equals 0, which is impossible. That means there is no x-intercept. Don't say there's nothing. No x-intercept. No x-intercept. Don't say nothing, okay? So it does mean this is contradiction, so we cannot have 2 equals 0. So that means there is no x-intercept, which means that the x-intercept it may be an asymptote. So now okay, let me graph it now. Let me find out the I forgot to look for the vertical and horizontal asymptote. Alright, so let me go back and look for the vertical asymptote. Vertical asymptote, you make them equal 0. Vertical asymptote, x minus 1 equals 0, which means that x equal 1. So this is my vertical asymptote. For horizontal asymptote, so I know that the degree of the denominator is greater than the numerator, which means that the x-axis is your horizontal asymptote. So now in my graph, what I do, I draw my vertical and horizontal asymptote. So I have 1. I'm going to draw my vertical asymptote. So it's 1 here. So assume this is 1. And I draw my horizontal asymptote, which is on the x-axis. Alright. So this is 1. I have my y-intercept. So my y-intercept is -2, 0, -2. So this is here. Now I know that the graph doesn't cross it, so it's going to be a curve that crosses the y-intercept and move down. And because it's a function, this means there's like a graph here, so the graph is going to be on the other side here, and it's going to be like this. You can pick a number, for example 2, plug it into the function and see what you got, and you get your coordinate. So if I look for f of 2, so it's going to be 2 over 2 minus 1, which is 2 over 1, which is 2. So it's going to be like this. This is 1, 2. So this is your point, and you know it's a curve, so try to make it a curve. The same thing here, you can pick, for example, 0, so it's going to be -2, or you can pick -1, so it's going to be -1. Okay, so okay, let me try to I know it's ugly graph, but alright, this is -1, so this is -1, I got -1, so I got this, so it's and try to make it go near to the asymptote. So try to do it nice, like I say always, when you correct a nice paper, even if it's wrong, you appreciate nice work or nice paper. Okay, so this is the idea. So this is how to graph rational functions. I need to find out the intercept and the asymptote, and you can use a table to, if you want to go more accurate, of entry. So you do x, y, and you put for 2, for 0, -1, and so on, and you plug in, get the y, you get the y, you get the y value, you choose your x, and you get your y value. So you can put as much as you want to make sure that the graph is more accurate. Alright, so here they ask me to graph this quadratic. So here I need to add the vertex and the y and the x-intercept. So let me look for my vertex. So the vertex is -b over 2a for ac minus b squared over 4a, or you can use -b over 2a f of -b over 2a. So it depends what is your value. If it's simple numbers, so you can just plug in and do it. If it's not simple, just use this one. If you got a fraction or something like that, so use that one, is more safer. Alright, so if I look for -b over 2a, so it's gonna be 6 over 2, which is 3, and that is very simple. I just plug in back here. So when I plug, I got 9 minus 18 plus 10, which is going to give me 1. So that this is very simple. So it's going to be 3, 1 is my vertex. As you see here, I didn't use this. If I got a fraction, if I got, for example, a fraction as my x, I will not plug in back here because I don't want to deal with fraction. I just use this formula and move on because this one is safer. But when I see that I got only 1, I got 3, which is a very simple number, I can plug in back a 3 here and get an evaluate, and it's very simple. So this is my vertex. So now I got my vertex. I need to find out what is my x and y-intercept. So y-intercept is your c, which is that value. So it's going to be 0, 10, x-intercept, and make the equation equal 0. or the expression equals 0. So x squared minus xx plus 10 equals 0. Alright, so here, let's see if I can factor it right away. So it's going to be 2, 5, and 110. It's not going to give me minus x, so it means that I will have fine. Alright, so let me use perfect square, I think. Alright, so let me look for the discriminant first, because here I think I will not have an x-intercept, but let me look for discriminant. So it's going to be minus, it's going to be squared minus 4ac, so it's going to be 36 minus 40, so minus 4, oh, it's negative. So okay, so this has no x-intercept because the discriminant is negative. So it's like this has no solution. If there's no solution for the equation, that means there's no x-intercept. So here, no x-intercept. Alright, now I need to see where the graph will be located. You see, I have my a equal to 1 here, which is positive. So when we have a is positive, the graph is above the x-axis. If a is negative, the graph will be below. As long as a is positive, so that's basically above. So what I need to do here, I have the y-intercept, I have the vertex. The vertex, I know that the x is my x equal 3 is x of symmetry. So I'm going to use this concept to graph my graph. I don't need to look for another point because I already have the y-intercept. So let me show you how to do this, so at least you will get the idea. So I'm gonna do it in this format. Look, I don't have any graph below the x-axis because the graph I already know is going to be above the x-axis. So because a is positive, so I don't need to make a big line on the negative side for the y. So I just do it in this format. So now what I do here, I look for my y-intercept. So it's going to be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is my y-intercept. And I look for my vertex. Where is my vertex? So is 3, 1. So 1, 2, 3. So 3, 1. So the vertex is going to be here. Okay. Now, so this is going to be my symmetry. So let me draw it in a different line, a different color. So this, you understand, this is my symmetry. So the symmetry line. Symmetry line. Alright, after I draw my symmetry line, so I need to find out the third point. Always, if you want to graph a quadratic, you need 3 points. So the third point, I'm going to use the symmetry line and the y-intercept. How far is from the axis of symmetry? I'm going to create another point which is horizontal. That means on the same horizontal line as that one. So on the same horizontal line, and is far from the axis of symmetry are the same length. So I have 3 units, so I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, so it's going to be here. So this is my point. This should be the same length. This length and this length should be the same. So you're going to get the same output if I pick, for example, 6 here, and I plug in back into the quadratic, I'll get the same thing as this value. So now I can draw my graph. So keep in mind this is a curve. Don't make it a V. There we go. So this is how I graph the quadratic function or parabola, how you want to name it. So as you see, so this is the idea. I hope this is clear. Well, in this useful problem, they asked me to find out the price after the discount. So here the original price is 360. So the initial price is 360. The discount is 20%. So I want to see the price after discount. So what I do the price. This is the price after the discount, so it's going to be minus the discount, so it's going to be the value times the rate, which is 20%, so it's going to be 360 minus 360 times 20 over 100. So here I cancel this, it's like I'm dividing by 10, so I got 360 minus 72. So this will be my final price, so it's going to be 882. So it's $288. So this is the price after the discount. So here, one quarter of a number is subtracted from the number. The answer is 27. So I have 1/4 of the number subtracted from the number, so it's going to give me 27. So here I multiply the whole thing by, or I simplify it in the simplest way, so I have n over 4. Here it's going to be 4 over 4, common denominator, so it's going to be 27. So 4n minus n is 3n. 3n over 4 equals 27. Multiply by 4 divided by 3, so I multiply by 4 divided by 3 both sides, so the 3 and the 4 cancel out. So 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 times 4 is 36, so the number I'm looking for is 36. So the perimeter of rectangle is 58 inch. So if I have a rectangle, so the perimeter of rectangle is 58 inch, and we know that the length, which is less than 2 times the width, so 3 times the width minus 15, 15 less than 2 times the width, and we have the width, so this is going to be my length. So we know that the formula of the perimeter is what? Is 2L plus 2W. This is equal to what? 58. So I substitute here L by 3W minus 15 plus 2W equal 58. Then I distribute and solve for combined terms and solve for W. So it's going to be 6W minus 30 plus 2Y equal 58. Now combined terms, so I got 8W minus 30 equal 58 plus 30 both side. 8W equal 88 divided by 8, so W will be 11. Then this is 11 inch, so I take this 11, substitute back into L, so L will be 3 times 11 minus 15, so it's going to be 33 minus 15, which is 16. So L is 18 inch, not 16, is 18. 33 minus 15 is 18, so it's 18 inch. So those are the dimension of the rectangle. Okay, next question. So the sum of two numbers is 43, so I have x plus y is 43. The difference is 11. X minus y is 11. So this is elimination right away. So here I add the two, so I'm going to write down this again. X minus y, this is 43, this is 11. Here I subtract, so when I add I got the x, the y cancel out, I add here, so it's going to be 44. Here I subtract, so the x is gone out, but minus y is going to be 2y, and here when I subtract I got 32. Now divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. So x is 22, y is 16. Alright, so this is 32. Okay, this time it's not what I'm looking for. So here there's something wrong here. So why subtract here? Oh, this is 32, so it's 16. And oh, there we go. When I add, I got 54 here, not 44. So here it's going to be 27. Now this makes sense, because when you add it should give me 43, and when subtract should give me 11. So here I just add this, I forgot to add the 4 and the 1. So this is going to be 27, and this will be the answer. And as you see here, so if you go fast and you don't pay attention to your steps, you may make a silly mistake like this. So simple addition and you do it wrong. Alright, so next, I just want to make 50 pins of 16% acid and 13% acid. We don't know how many, but I know that the sum of the quantity is 50 pins, and she want to get 18-bit solution. So she want to get 15 with 16%, and she want to mix 13 and 18. So this is the formula. So the quantity times the concentration plus the quantity times the concentration is going to give me the quantity, which is quantity 1 plus quantity 2 times the concentration needed. So here I don't know, this is my x, so I know it's 13%. This is plus y, which is 18%. So 18%, so 18 over 100. And here's going to be x plus y, and what I'm looking for is 16%, so 16 over 100. So that's the idea. So here I multiply the whole thing by 100. So the 100 will cancel out for all of them. So I got 13x plus 18y equals, I know this is going to be 50 times 16. So 13x plus 18y equal, so here I will have 80, so it's going to be 800. So my second equation is going to be 13x plus 18y equals 800. So this is going to be my system of equation. So here what I do, we can do elimination. So I multiply the whole thing here by 13 to eliminate the x. So I got 13x plus 13y, so it's going to be 65 here, and here's going to be 13x plus 13y equals 800. So let me switch the order. So in that case I will have positive subtraction, because I'm going to subtract. I don't want to deal with the negative. So here I subtract, so I got 5y, and here is going to be 150. So if I divide by 2, if I divide by 5, so I got my y will be 30. So now I know that x plus y is 50, x plus 30 is 50, so minus 30 minus 30, so x equal 20. So here I need to have 20 pins, and here I should have 30 pins. So those are the quantities that need to use in order for me to get 50 pins of 16%. So I need to have 20 pins of 30%, and here should be 30 pins of 18%. So this is the solution for that one. Alright, for here, the length of rectangle of the this is rectangle again. So here we have the length of the rectangle is one more twice the width, so it's going to be the length is going to be twice the width plus 1. So the width, the area is 21. So I know that the area is 21, but the area is length times width, so it's 21. So I substitute the length, which is 2w plus 1. What is the width? Is the width, so it's going to be 21. Then distribute 2w square plus w equal 21. Move the 21 here, so it's going to be 2w plus w minus 21 equals 0. Now what I do here, I factor, so 2w square plus w minus 21 equals 0. So here when I factor, or you can use quadratic formula, it's going to be the same thing. So it's going to be 2w, this is going to be 3 plus 7, and w minus 3. So now I got 2w plus 7 equals 0, w minus 3 equals 0. So here I solve, so minus 7 minus 7, so that will be 2w equal minus 7 divided by 2, so w will be minus 2 over 7, which is not possible because I cannot have a length negative. So plus 3, so w will be 3, so I got my w, substitute into the L equal 2w plus 1, so it's going to be 2 times 3 plus 1, which is 7, so L will be 7, what's the unit? Inch, so inch, and here will be inch. So those are the dimension of the rectangle. Okay, Charlie wants to invest 5,000 so into stock, so this means it has the stock and the bond, so he want to invest 5,000. Alright, the bond given the interest of the stock is 2%, so is the S times the rate times the time, so which is going to be, we don't know what is S, but we know the rate is 2%, and the time we know is 1 year, so it's going to be 2S over 100. So the interest of the bond is the amount of the bond times the rate times the time. So it's going to be the bond times what is the interest is 5, the rate is 5%, times 1, so it's going to be 5b over 100. Now, so this is my first equation. My second equation, he want to get 189 as interest. So this means I will have the interest of the stock plus the interest of the bond should be 199, which means that I will have 2s over 100 plus 5b over 100 equal 199. So I'm multiplying the whole thing by 100 because I don't want to do the fraction. Now I got my system, so s plus b equal 5,000, and I have 2s plus 5b equal 19,900. So here elimination is better, so I multiply the top by 2 and I subtract. So let me put the first equation down here, so it's better. Now I multiply the second equation by 2, so I got 2s plus 3 plus 5b, 2s plus 5b equal 19,900, and we have 2s plus 2b equal 10,000. Now I subtract, so I got 3b, and here's going to be 9 divided by 3. So the bond he invests is 3,300. Now to find out the rest, we just need to subtract from here. So what I do here, to find out the stock, so I do the stock is 5,000 minus b, which is 5,000 minus 3,300, 1,700. So the stock will be 1,700. So this is the value that I need to spend on bond and stock to get this amount of interest. This is all about this review, so I hope that you got an idea how to deal with this type of question. And as you see here, there's some question where when we go fast you can make like same mistake. I make some mistake and go back and I fix them, and you see that this may happen on the test. So when you do the work, do it slowly and don't go fast. Even if it's easy, don't underestimate your question, because if you underestimate it, you can make silly mistake. Just simple addition, you can make it wrong. Simple addition, make it wrong. Even you know how to do it, but you can make it not. So be careful. So good luck to you guys, and I hope this will benefit you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.